research is showing us is that in 2019, Generation Z is actually going to surpass Generation Y. And so what that means for our clients is we really need to have a perspective on what does the new technology, new services, new capabilities that they are looking for, what do we need to bring to bear for them? The first one was that Gen Zers really just want their technology and their connectivity to work. A few things that can be considered to really help with the fact that they just want their technology to work is one, really taking a peel back of the type of data that's being captured. Looking at thin data as well as thick data regarding, personalizations and what is the real persona that is coming through for each of these individuals. Having that ability to have a little bit of a kind of white glove treatment or something that allows that Gen Zer to know that they have a personalized experience, but that they also have a very convenient experience would be extremely helpful for the CSPs. The second key finding was that Gen Zers really do want to control their content. And so in controlling their content, there are a few things that we recommend to the CSPs. The first being around immersion. So really, how do you immerse that consumer into more of their personalized capabilities to drive higher margin profits for yourself? The focus is really around engagement models. So how do you allow them to experiment with new engagement models for content creation, that management, obviously providing the security and components around it as well. And then focusing on new capabilities and use cases like virtual reality, games, other components that allow joint integration or collaboration in creating and managing content. The third key finding was the fact that Gen Zers, they really wanted information targeted to them to be personal. From that aspect, one of the key recommendations that we would make would really be to dig into that personalization, to understand the variables and super variables that really relate to who are they as a consumer, as a whole being, and what do they really need your services for. Not only do you capture the contextual information of where the ad could go based on their identity, but really, how do you look at other techniques that could help you further identify this individual and further be relevant to what their personal ads are and their personal needs. Taking a look at real technologies and platforms to help solve for those problems will be, one of the key ways to focus on driving out more targeted ads in new services that can identify revenue. One of the examples that we have at Cognizant is working with one of our ad clients who is truly hitting the nail on the head with making things personal in an ad space. Not only are they capturing offline and online data, but they're really able to make it an accurate 360 view of who this person is so that they can more directly target and advertise relevant information to them. A few of the surprising things from the research were first the fact that they really still relied heavily on touch versus voice. So although a lot of the generation does use voice to text and other voice capabilities with Alexa and others, you really find that they wanted more of that touch interaction. The second piece that was extremely interesting was the fact that they were willing to pay to have that tech service working the best way possible. And we found that in some cases, individuals were already paying $50 to $100 to have technical services and connectivity services resolved. The third interesting finding was around the fact that they really were a little bit less optimistic around the future of the internet and some of the security and safety. Although they are heavily tied to it, spending more than 5 hours a day on their devices, they really did feel a little less optimistic around that.